And we've got Bill in Chicago. Thanks for waiting.
Howdy doody.
Hey.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Pretty good.
What's up?
I really respect your radio station, guys. It's been actually my dream to be talking in person. I'm usually like that guy that everybody calls a troll. I'm like, what's a troll? Like, I really just want to know, like, are there any believers out here? And I know you guys believe, and that's why you guys have the radio station going.
So
my basic question is...
my thing is, you were talking about believers out there. Are you a theist, an atheist, what?
If I was going to define myself, I'll call myself a believing atheist.
Believing in what exactly, then?
Well, I believe that, in order to even have belief, you might as well believe everything, right?
I'm not quite following.
Well, basically, like...
So we're talking about whether or not you believe that a God exists.
Oh, a God exists.
Let's limit it to that, yeah.
First, we'd have to define what the God word is. I think that's just a default thing for something that...
Sure, that's a good starting point.
Sure,
no one knows.
but you don't actually have to start there in the course of this conversation, because you could say, yes, I believe in a God, and I would like to define what I mean by that, or you could say, no, I don't believe in any God that's been defined that I've considered.
Well, I'll define anything close to the God as far as in a particular Bible. Now, you guys are pretty souped up on your Bible reading as far as what I hear. The God that's described in the Bible, it gets kind of cross-referenced from different narratives. I don't believe in a God that would kill people and tell people to kill people and stuff like that, and then pop out a guy named Jesus and then be everything that the world needs. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden.
So
I don't believe that.
So you're not a Christian, but you're a deist, maybe?
I actually don't believe in labels. And one of the main reasons
Well, labels exist.
One of the main reasons why is because the first time I heard the word atheist, I wondered what it was, and I looked in some history books, and the first atheists were the people that just would not bow down to any other human being. It's like...
So the Romans used a version of the term and labeled Christians atheists because they didn't believe in the Roman gods. Generally, it has come to be atheist is the position of you do not believe in any God.
Is that a position that is extreme in any way, shape, or form? Because Dawkins talks about that.
No, it's a skeptical position. It's a conservative position.
Dawkins talked about what?
He's like a level 7 or something like it. You guys.
So
he
did a scale of disbelief where I think he put himself at like 6.9 out of 7.
So it was like, why not go all the way, ball to the wall?
Well, because there's a limit. So there's this problem in philosophy of whether or not you can actually be absolutely certain about anything. And my position is that you can't.
So then why not call yourself that, whatever that's called?
I call myself all kinds of things. I'm not just an atheist. I'm an atheist. I'm a skeptic. I'm a humanist. There are other things where I might not bother with a label because it's not something that comes up. So this idea of someone who rejects the idea of absolute certainty, I'm not sure if that actually has a label. But if it did, it's something that, while it seems to come up more frequently on the show than it does in my daily life, it's not very productive to label myself with that. It's far more important to label myself an atheist because the bulk of humanity is and has been theists. And so I'm labeling myself as someone who's not part of that group.
I understand. I guess the fallacy of labeling, I kind of...
Wait a minute. What the hell's the fallacy of labeling?
Like, once you enter into labels, I think that you enter into limitation by at least an observer, because
I don't...
I've talked to on a weekly basis, I've talked to over 300 of my friend atheists.
300 atheists a week?
Yes.
You should be doing this show. I haven't spoken to 300 atheists a week, ever. Apart from like if I'm at a convention and I'm speaking to 300, but I didn't get to talk to all of them. You're like a miracle worker.
Yeah, not verbally, but on Facebook, I'm the guy that they call the troll. They're like, what the hell? And I'm like in everybody's business supposedly, And all I'm saying is reassuring the people that the highest power that known to man is what we call love, but is misconstrued because they forgot the origin, which is agape.
So none of this
Has much to do with the show.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know what kind. What? Hang on. I don't know. I don't know. First of all, what you necessarily mean by power, or how you determine that love is the highest power. This is the sort of deepity and sophistry that I don't give a rat's ass about.
Well, here you have to give a rat's ass because you're trying to.
No, actually, I don't.
You're trying to tell people about the Bible.
Yeah.
And the Bible talks about God and says that God is the entity of what you said you don't give a rat's ass about, what you probably just don't really know much about.
No, that's where you're confused. You see, even if God existed and he was love, I don't give a rat's ass about him. I give a rat's ass about the people who are claiming to believe that God exists and the actions they take on behalf of it. Because we can't solve the first problem, so I'm addressing the second one.
Okay, so if I want to love you, actually the Bible has got me over to this Atheist Experience, is because
the Bible directed you to the Atheist Experience?
Wow.
Well, not the Bible alone.
Thanks, man.
It's my decision because the Bible has intrigued me and said, man, there's this guy named Jesus, and he loved so much, and then people killed him because of his art of love.
Yeah, I don't think you've actually read the Bible, because that's not really the story of Jesus.
My friend, about 10 times, and I go to church every Sunday.
Okay, well,
it doesn't matter.
You need to study it in a little bit greater. You need to study it in a little bit greater depth, because that's not in any way an accurate representation of Jesus.
1 John says that God is love.
Yeah.
What are you reading? What are you reading?
I didn't say it didn't say that. I'm talking about your summary of being killed for loving people.
That's all Jesus did as far as the narrative goes.
Really?
Did you hear of any other?
So I would direct you to ironchariots.org, where I've done a verse-by-verse assessment of the Sermon on the Mount, and also the times where Jesus, was nasty to his mom and his family and the people around him, or where he made a scourge and went and chased all the moneylenders out of the temple, where he said that he'd only come to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I'm still talking. And so this oversimplification that he just loved people and that they killed him for loving, even if he did just love people, that's not why they killed him. They killed him